So in this video, I'm going to talk about that how to think in English. As you know, if you want to become a fluent speaker, if you want to speak good English, you have to think in English. Because if you are just trying to translate your mother tongue to English, so you are not going to speak a fluent English. You're going to take a lot of unwanted pauses, which makes your conversation very unattractive. For that, you have to think English. So I'm going to give you the strategies which makes you to think in English. So watch this video till the end. And if you will find my channel helpful, productive, so don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay, let's come to the point, guys. If you want to think English, so start to talk to yourself. Talking to yourself, it is the one of the best way for the think in English. For that, I'm going to give you the example that I have to go somewhere. Okay, I have to go gym at the 9 o'clock. So just try to think like that. If you're doing any small activities, if you're doing any tasks, so just try to think in English. Like I'm writing, so you can think like that. I'm reading, just try to think in English like that. It is one of the natural way of thinking English. I'm not going to give you like lots of tasks. I'm not going to tell you that do that kind of things. I'm going to give you the natural way of thinking English. Okay, so as you know, as I told you, that try to talk to yourself. If you're going to talk to yourself now, so you are going to understand, you're going to you are going to think in English very fast. Try to do this kind of thing only for the 1 month, and you will get a result. You will be feel more comfortable to speak in English. For the speaking, for the thinking English, so you have to talk to yourself. Just whatever you have done today, like that, just try to recap your day whenever you just try to you know take a sleep. Okay, for that, you just try to recap that. I just woke up at that time. I just take my dinner that time. I just took my breakfast that time. Just try to recap your day. That is one of the best way of thinking English. If you are just journaling as well, so you are going to if you are just journaling anything in your diary, just try to think in English that time as well. You're going to enhance your communication skill very fast, guys. You are going to speak a fluent English if you are going to think in English. So this is the benefit this is the kind of benefit of thinking English. I don't pressure you, and don't pressure yourself to think in English a lot. I'm just trying to say that whenever you're just trying to do any small activities, if you're going somewhere, just try to think that time. Okay, because I just think that if you're going to pressurize yourself now too much, if you're going to pressure yourself to think in English, so you're not going to learn English easily. You have to take it in a easy way. Okay, okay, let's come to the second point. I don't want to drag in the long way. As I told you, that just try to talk to yourself. That's enough. Okay, okay, let's come to the second point. As I mentioned in my all video, that listening is a very important part. If you are going to listen a lot, if you're going to listen some kind of English content, so you are going to grab the things in a very easy way. Just try to listen a lot. If you want to think in English, no, so you have to listen a lot. Not only some kind of podcast kind of thing. Just try to watch movies as well, because you are going to understand the situation of that movies. You're going to understand the thing. Just try to watch movies with the subtitle. This is one of the best way to think in English. If you will be watch movies and kind of English content, so you are going to think in English very fast. You have to give at least 30 to 30 days, 30 to 50 days. So this is the one of the best way for thinking English. And as I told you, that don't pressurize yourself to think in English. For the thinking English, you are going to grab the things automatically. Automatically, yeah. You're going to grab the things automatically if you're listening a lot. If you're listening a lot, and if you're trying to talk to yourself, you are going to think in English. If you're trying to break your consistency, so you're not going to think in English. Try to communicate with the people. If you're just listening and you are not going to speak with someone, no, so it is a very daunting. If you are just trying to listen and you just try to talk to yourself, and if you're not going to talk to someone, you're not going to learn English, you're not going to speak a fluent English. So you have to think in English when you are just doing some kind of small activities. When you just try to go somewhere, just try to think in English. If you really want to think in English, so just try to watch contents as well, like English content. I'm not talking about Hindi contents. If you want to speak English fluently, so you have to listen a lot English content. I'm not talking about others content, like Indian English content. I think this is the one of the best way of thinking English. And try to be consistent here. Don't pressurize yourself to think in English. Don't pressurize too much to think in English. Just whenever you're just trying to do the small activities, whenever just trying to go somewhere, just try to think in English that time. Okay. And for the thinking English, I just realized that if you are watching movies and kind of content, so you're going to grab the things automatically. It is not like that you are going to think in English. You are going to enhance your pronunciation and accent as well if you are listening to native speakers. Okay. For that, you have to find your own interest, which kind of things you like to watch, which kind of things do you like to watch. Like if I'm like action movies, so I'm going to watch action movie. If you like to watch romantic movies and horror movies, so you are going to watch these movies. Okay, so you have to find your realm, you have to find your like own interest for the thinking English if you want to watch English movies. Okay, so this is the one of the best way, and try to be consistent here. If you're not going to if you're not going to maintain the consistency, you are not going to think in English. So as I told you that, just try to whenever you're just doing kind of any small task, so just try to think in English. And if you're going somewhere, if you're seeing something, if you're like just try to describe the objects. Like there is a one coffee, a cup, there is a one bottle. Just try to like speak a small sentence. Don't make your sentences very complicated. Okay, just try to make some kind of basic sentences, and don't pressure yourself. That's all you have to do. These things for the think in English. If you will be do this kind of things now, you're going to think in English in a very like in a very short time, like within 1 month or within 2 months. So you have to think in English. That's all. You have to like do the things in a very consistency. You have to maintain the consistency. You have to do the things daily basis, in the daily basis. So just like that, you don't need to do the extra thing for the thinking English. You don't need to do the extra tasks for thinking English, because as I told you that there are lots of YouTubers, they just suggest to you. There are lots of people just suggest to you, just try to do this kind of activities, just try to do this activity. Bro, you are going to learn English, you are going to learn languages. You're not going to learn physics and maths kind of thing. So just I want to say that that try to take it easy way. Don't take it in the very hard. This is a language, bro. You're not going to, if you're just going to take in the lots of tasks now, so you're not going to complete that tasks. For the tasks, as I told you that for task, you have to speak, you have to listen. That's all. That is enough. And you have to watch the things. That's all. If you want to add something, now just try to read books, as I told you. You're going to think in English if you're doing this kind of activities. So don't think too much that if I'm going to think in English, so I'm going to like speak a fluent. Just try to do this activity. Try to talk to yourself. Try to watch movies. That's all. And don't break your consistency. Maintain your consistency. Try to speak with the daily people, and don't think about your result. You will be get a result if you are going to do this kind of things. Just try to talk to yourself. Watch videos. That's enough. So guys, for that, for today, this is all of the things I mentioned. That just try to do that kind of thing. And one more thing, if you haven't watched my ChatGPT videos, just I already given the link of that video. Just try to watch this video. You're going to boom your communication skill. If you're not aware about that, how to use the ChatGPT for the enhancing your communication skill. For that, today's enough, I think. And have a good night, guys. Have a great day.